Hey, what's up guys, Ravenclaw here and welcome back to the Ravenclaw channel, and today we are going over part 4 of our BM Hunter guide. Now, today we are going over the single and multi-target rotation along with an overview of what add-ons I use in the PvE world. A lot of you have asked what keeps popping up on my screen and all this other good stuff, so I'll give you an overview of what they are, but in the next video we're going to go over custom macros, weak auras, and how to set up all of these add-ons properly and how to have them link across all your other toons so you can get the same setup throughout all of your characters. Alright guys, like I said before, if you haven't already, come over to the Facebook page on the Discord. I hang out there a lot, so if you have any questions or whatever, especially after this video is done for the next one, let me know. And yeah, let's get to it. So when it comes to your single target rotation, the main thing you want to focus on is keeping your frenzy stacks going. So if you keep your frenzy stacks at 3, your pets will be hitting much faster and you'll be doing more damage essentially. So it's very straightforward. The basic rotation will go, you can start with your Bestial Wrath, then you'll do 2 stacks of Barb Shot. Okay, and the reason for that is if you're running Primal Instincts, when you hit Aspect of the Wild, then you'll get another shot of Barb Shot. So that way you'll have 3 off the bat, and you can keep this, and all you're doing then is topping it up. So once you go from there, then you can use your neck trait, your Azerite Essence, and then it's simply Barb Shot, Kill Command on cooldown, and rinse and repeat. So the biggest thing is we want to make sure that we're in Bestial Wrath as much as possible. So let's have a look, see. Pretty much, like I said, it's a very straightforward rotation. The biggest thing is you just need to make sure we keep these stacks up. So, like I said, we do your 2 stacks, so then you get Bestial Wrath up, Kill Command, then you Aspect of the Wild, see how you get that extra proc, and then you drop your Azerite traits, and then as long as you're keeping the stacks there, you can see I've got the bar coming down at 3. It's pretty much all it is just keeping them going. Nothing more. Keep your Bestial Wrath up so you can see I've got weak auras to track all that. And if you're doing it right, you can keep your stacks going perfectly fine, because depending on your crit too, the higher your crit, the more wild call procs you're going to get, and the better you'll be overall. But that's pretty much it as far as your single target rotation. So like I said, priorities are your Barb Shot, Kill Command on cooldown, and Bestial Wrath on cooldown. And yeah, so that's that. Now we'll go in and have a look at your multi-target rotation. Alright guys and girls, so let's look at the multi-target rotation. So pretty much what we're doing is we're swapping out Cobra Shot for multi-shot. If you've got rapid reload, then you'll be able to utilize your Aspect of the Wild more in different types of packs, especially if you're doing Mythic Pluses and high Mythic Pluses. Having this come off cooldown faster is a great way to really burn through different types of mobs. For rapid reload, that allows you to reduce the cooldown of your aspects for all the targets that you hit by 1 second. Now that's any pack over 2 or more. It also sends out another shot of arrows, I guess you want to call it, for a certain amount of damage. So it does help having a little bit more damage, but the biggest benefit of it reduces the cooldown of your aspect. So when we are going to do your multi-target rotation, there's a couple of things you need to look for. It's not simply just going in and smacking things around. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure that your pets are closest to where the majority of the packs are. So let's, for example, because there are some times where the tank will pull, let's look at these guys for example. So if your pet is over here on this one, right, and there's some other mobs over here and you're trying to multi-target all of these things, you're not actually getting the maximum damage, because what we need is the Beast Cleave from your pets. So it's good to macro in your pet attack with your different spells. So like Barb Shot is super important to have your pet attack, so that way when you are grouped up on your targets here, your pets are going to go into where they can get the maximum damage. So just be mindful of that. I will be doing so I'm going to be doing Mythic Plus runs and doing like commentary over like higher keys, and give you sort of tips and tricks to what to look for and how to get the max damage, but we'll get into that later. Plus I'll go over macros in the next video as well. Okay, so pretty much what we're looking for is to use your barb shot and cooldown. Now, you don't want to get, with barb shot, if you haven't got the crit to give you wild call procs, you want to make sure that you can keep this available. So let's say if you know that you're not going to get many wild call procs, just drop it. Say, when you drop one, let the cooldown, like the global cooldown, come down. So this time it really helps. So then you can just wait, and then you can drop it again, and then wait until it gets down to a bit lower. So what I'm trying is you just keep them, use them sparingly. So that way you're not going to drop your stacks. So that's the biggest thing when you're doing a multi-target hit, is keeping those stacks up. And you'll see my pets start to go into, well, they call it a frenzy. It increases their attack speed by 90%. So that's really going to help your AoE. So let's assume that you've got rapid reload and all that stuff. So when you're coming up to a set of mobs, what I normally do is I will beast your wrath first, you drop your barb shots again, similar to your, then you want to do your multi-target, then your aspect of the wild, then drop it down, then use your AoE essence, and then just barb shot, kill command on whenever you can, and just your multi-shot. Barb shot, multi-shot, make sure you got you're always in beast your wrath, and just continuously doing it like that. Nothing crazy, but yeah, just as long as you're focusing on keeping your stacks up high, because you can see my pets, how fast they're attacking. So if you let that drop, then it's going to drop your DPS. And like I said, you can always chuck kill command in there just on cooldown, but just make sure that you've got the focus regen, otherwise you're going to starve yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as your AoE rotation is concerned. Alright guys, now let's look at some add-ons. I'm going to show you the add-ons that I use, and I'll give you a brief overview on sort of how to set them up quickly. I want to go over weak auras, macros, and more advanced add-on setups in the next part of the guide, because that's more of a universal guide that works for all specs of Hunter. But as for what I use, let's go and have a quick look. Okay, so let's just zone it on me. Okay, so Bartender. I use Bartender just to clean up the UI. I don't like the standard Blizzard UI. For those that aren't familiar with Bartender, it essentially allows you to, so if we just type /BT, it allows you to set up bars and just make the UI nice and neat. You can resize, you can change whatever you like. It's really good. And like I said, we'll go into this much more deeply in the next video. And I'll show you how to do custom setups and different things that will hopefully benefit you out. I will get you to leave me some if you have any questions on certain add-ons you want to set up properly or whatever like that, let me know. Any macros you want created or any specific weak auras you want created, I want you to let me know either in the comment section, or even better, come over to the Discord or the Facebook page. You'll be more than likely to get me over there. Alright, so the next one is details. Details, this is just a damage meter sort of tracker, but it is more than that. And you might be thinking, okay, yeah, I don't really care about, some people I don't really care about looking at my damage and stuff, but not only is it important to see where you're sitting with others, but with this, right, so for example, let's just go here and smack these things around for a little bit, get a pet out. Okay, so yes, it does track your damage and that, but what we're looking for with this, and this is going to help you improve along with other websites and sims and stuff, because we're going to go over how to sim your character and all that stuff as well, so that'll be enough. Alright, but what this does is in-game sort of analytic over all of your things. So you can actually click on your name and we can look at the different bits and pieces that were used, and we can then see what's hitting the most in both single and multi-target, and find out why that is. And then you can then go, okay, so yeah, my bestial cleave was hitting the most over barb shot, and then you can see, all right, why is kill command doing more than bestial cleave? Then you need to work your rotation. You might not be using a multi-shot enough, you're letting the bestial cleave drop off the pets. You get the idea. But also you can then come in here and have a look at what auras were up and for how long, and this is great, because then you can actually go, okay, I'm not using Bestial Wrath enough because it was only, obviously we only did a short thing, but let's say you're doing a boss fight or whatever, and you're thinking, okay, why was my damage so low? And you look at Bestial Wrath, okay, I wasn't in Bestial Wrath that much. Okay, and you get the idea. And then you can also see, alright, well, you know, Dragon's Flight procced so many times in that fight. I'm going to have to make sure I line up my cooldowns with that because it's going to proc a lot. But yeah, what I want to try and get you to understand is just, it's more than just checking damage down here and trying to be at the top. You can actually really see how you're doing as a player by looking at each one of these and finding out how it's going. But you can also compare yourself to other hunters that are in the same spec and see what they're doing. If they are doing more damage to you, you can actually compare to see where they were and what you're doing. So it's an awesome add-on to have. Plus then you can track healing and everything else. So like along the lines of, you know, damage, you can track pretty much whatever you want. Anything that's tracked by the Blizzard AI, you can actually track, which is awesome. And you can create custom ones as well, which we will go into in the next video. Okay, so after that, Gather Mate is not really important for what we're talking about today. It just shows you where all the nodes are on the map. Gladius is more PvP related, but we will talk about that in the PvP guide. Handy notes, not really. So method dungeon tools. This is huge. If you want to, if you're running keys and all that stuff, this is a great add-on. Like tanks will use this mostly, but what you can do is a hunter, or so a DPS more so, is if your tank is setting up a run. So as you can see here, this is Motherlode, and we had a run set up. So this will allow them to share it. So when they share it in chat, you can actually import it into your own section here and then see what they're planning to do. So that way you can go, okay, this is, alright, he's going to start here, then he's going to take the pylon all the way up to the boss. He's going to do the boss and then come pull all of this. So you can see what he's going for as far as pulls are concerned here. Now, you can also make one of these yourself and share it with the group. And this is a great way to plan out your mythic pluses, especially if you're pushing higher keys, to make sure you run the most efficient run, and then it just comes down to damage and making sure no one messes up. But yeah, this is a great add-on to have to really help with your mythic plus journey. Once again, we'll talk about more of this and setting it all up in the next video. What else have we got? Okay, so a few other ones. Let's talk about, so Radar IO is just to track your IO. So if you look up, when you highlight your action bar or whatever you want to call it, or others, you can actually see down the bottom right your score, and you'll be able to see the other people's score. So let's say we wanted to, if we're looking to join a key, right? Let's say we're just going to do a 17. Let's chuck a 17. Right, and we'll go, all right, here. We can see that the leader has a score of 2.4k, right? But we can also do something else. Let's say, all right, we've got 3 people here. This only tracks the leader of the group. But if we wanted to see what, you know, let's say, okay, well, here's the tank, but is the healer all right? You can actually right-click, and you can go to Copy Radar IO, and then go to the Radar IO website and literally just press Control V anywhere in the site, and it will take you to the page that has all 3 of these, or whoever's in the group. So then you can see who's doing what. Plus you can also then do it the other way. When you're looking for group, when they sign up, you can actually see their IO rating just quickly in here. Now it doesn't update. Let's say you've just done a plus 18 and you're going for another one. It won't update straight away. And you must make sure that you have the desktop client for it to update in-game as well. So yeah, let's continue on. Okay, so going back to the pawn and the simulation craft. These two are really good for making sure that your gear is on point. So if we open up the bags here, pawn will allow you, once you've simmed your character, don't worry if you don't know too much about simming and that, we will get into that later, but you'll see these little green arrows, okay? Once you've simmed your character and gotten the right stat weights, any gear that you get will go based on what stat weights you've imported. Now, as you can see here, this is saying this will be a 5% upgrade to my current character. That's purely because it's got a higher eye level. Okay? Now, don't sort of go too hard on this, thinking, alright, this is exactly what it needs. You want to make sure that you're still going for the right stats, but this is going to help you out a lot. So simulation craft, when you type /simc, it brings up a bunch of text. This is what you'll put into, say, raid bots, and to be able to run stats on. And what it does, it pulls all the gear in your bags and everything like that. So you can sim what gear you've got on now. You can sim like what the top gear is in your bags and everything like that. And this will allow you to always have the maximum DPS you can gear-wise. And so that's super important. Okay, and as I said, as I'm going through these, if you see anything that you want extra help on, let me know in wherever you want to ask it. Okay, Tomcat Tour. This is just real world, around the world stuff. Nothing too important. Okay, weak auras. That is for things. So if we do /WA, we've got things like the different hunter cooldowns. We've got, as you can see up here, this is for Mort, the boss, his annihilation. Like, you can do pretty much anything, and I'm working on a bunch of custom weak auras. The weak auras that you see on my screen now, I actually got pre-made. I do like it, however, I'm actually going to create my own that is going to work with my specific playstyle. If you would like one created for yourself, or you would like to sort of know where you can get specific ones, this will all be done in the next video. I know I keep saying about it, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so pretty much what I wanted to do is just give you an idea of what I'm going for as far as add-ons. Okay, so deadly boss mods is a super important one to have if you're taking raiding, and so either deadly boss mods or bigwigs. Either one of those do the same thing. It just helps you know when things are coming up, what to look for, especially if you're progressing into mythic raids and stuff. You need to have something that's going to allow everyone to work together, especially with pull timers and all that stuff. Now, a few other ones that I probably haven't gone over. You can get things like a range display, which tells you how far you are from the target, which will help for keeping you at max range and not getting too close into trouble. Just little things like that always help. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really use. If you use anything else, or you know of any other ones that can benefit either myself or other hunters, please leave it down in the comments or come over to the Discord and have a chat. But yeah, so that will pretty much wrap up this part of the video. The next video we're going to go over macros. One, how to make macros, depending on how it goes, because I'm going to get pretty in depth with this. So custom macros and custom weak auras, how to use both in those and how to set them up, and we'll go over the add-ons I've just spoken about and how to set them up, how to set up add-ons, everything like that. So it's a sort of a add-ons part 2 guide. Okay, I hope you are enjoying these guides. I know I'm taking them a little bit like step by step, but I wanted to sort of focus on each area more in depth without skipping over it, and this allows you then to select which video you want to do based on what part of troubles you're having. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, like I always say, guys, you stay safe and you keep on sniping. Take care.